Good morning, everyone. My name is Eduardo, and welcome to a new demo for the Incubation Engineering MLOps. So this is the demo for August 27th. As usual, we have this issue where we collect all of the weekly demos. Feel free to subscribe if you want to know when the updates come up. So yeah. So for this week. We are continue working on Jupyter Notebooks experience and exploring how to connect better GitLab to the MLOps landscape, which tools could we better implement, which opportunities should we pursue. So this will be talking about. So before we start working on the diff itself of the Jupyter Notebook, to get a little bit warmed up, we are working on small issues with Jupyter. So for example, we had one MR now that fixes images that are loaded from the repository itself rather than a URL or embedded into the notebook. So this is one of the things we worked on. Another one, small improvement as well. Output images were not being rendered. Well, they were being rendered correctly, but they were not being resized correctly. So we're just a small thing here. A little bit of a larger one. A lot of users complain about how we render or how we don't render math well in Jupyter Notebooks. That's because of the library we use. We use KTeX, and kind of like the industry standard is mathjax. So one of the ideas that we want to work on now is replace one by the other and start using mathjax. It's a lot better. That has a lot better support for equations. So we'll be working on this soon. And regarding the Jupyter Notebooks diff, we are exploring different ways of doing this, of implementing this diff. So just to show a little bit of the challenge that we have. So for example, this is a Jupyter notebook. It has errors, it has lines, it has everything. And this is the file, the JSON, the Jupyter notebook is a JSON. And it has each cell that you see here is an entry over here. So you have cell types with a lot of metadata. So this cell type is a code. It was the 7th executed. It has one ID. The output was an error. So you would see it's this one over here. It also has a traceback. It has the source here. So you see that the source are just each line is part of a list. And now we have to diff this thing. So one of the ideas that we're having now is, instead of generating text, generate a Jupyter notebook which contains diff per cell. So each cell has its own diff. We can use the IDs to see which cells were removed or added, and then for the cells that were kept, we can diff and see what were the changes that within them, and then do a little bit more of rendering on the front end. So this is a little bit, we're exploring different ways. So this is low discovery process. We're testing different ideas on how to move forward with this, but I think this looks a little bit promising, and we'll see on the upcoming weeks. And on the other side of the MLOps is that we are MLOps tooling with GitLab. So we're thinking a little bit better now on how to expand GitLab and either adapt the features we have or add completely new features into GitLab to help our users on the MLOps landscape. So we need a point of entry for that. We need to better understand and better quantify what are the needs of our users. And for that, we need to better capacitate our sales people, the contacts we have directly with the customer, so that they can have discussions, informed discussions, and be able to understand the customer needs on the MLOps side. So for this, we are now starting to work on a handbook page so that account representatives can refer to. and this will be added as well as tags for issues so that we can see whether they are most where they need more feature store or model registry or pipelines or things like that. So this is also ongoing. We had some discussions this week over this on how to proceed and what are the needs of our account representatives as well, and how we can better help them out. And we'll be moving forward with this as well. And last but not least, we have also on this line of exploring how to integrate. One of the ideas is now is to create simple projects that connect with all of the major, that we can mix and match the major providers on the MLOps space. So for example, for model registry, with model registry being a place where you store models, where you can discover models, model artifacts, where you can track them. And one of the biggest players on this space is MLflow. It's an open source tool maintained by Databricks. They offer, of course, a complete solution with a lot more stuff as a SaaS, but they have MLflow as open source. So one of the ideas is to explore a little better how to integrate MLflow in GitLab and see if this is a way we want to move towards. How can we add MLflow as a backbone to the CI/CD ML process? So we'll be collaborating. I'll be collaborating with William on this and see how it goes. And one of the ideas is that okay, this one is for MLflow, but having the project, we can try to test this same idea with SageMaker model registry, with Databricks model registry, try to mix and match the tools so that later on Learn at GitLab, we can add tutorials for a lot of the tools that are available there. So our users can just look at it and have a very good experience on how to integrate GitLab to the tools they already use. And that's it for this week's demo. Next week we'll see each other again. Bye. Thanks for coming.